What is going on, man? I'm missing my camera. One crucial element to streaming is to plug the camera in. Let's see if that'll connect itself. I mean, I guess we don't have to have a camera. I mean, but you're gonna miss out on my amazingly good-looking mug here. We'll see if that even connects. Maybe, kinda, sorta. There we go. I'm back. I am back and ready for some more code fun. So I worked on my taxes some more today. I actually got my business taxes done. What a pain for a company that's barely making any money. By the way, for those of you who are interested in a Mage Cage, I'm temporarily down. I shut down my Shopify store. I'm going to put the cages and the magnets and all that back up. I just don't know if I don't want to use Shopify. Sales are kind of low right now because I don't have any more X-Cases. And the Mage Cages and the magnets are kind of slow sellers right now on their own. So what I want to do is I'll probably either put them on a Facebook store or some other sales venue that doesn't require constant fees like Shopify does, because you've got to pay, fees upon fees. It's like it costs me on the average like $65 a month to use Shopify, which would be fine if I was making $65 a month, but I'm not. I'm not making anything off of it, and trying to cut all the expenses out of my my life that aren't necessary, that I can get by without. And although I will be selling the cages, we do have them, and we do have the magnets and the flex iron and all that still available. Just I don't have a venue to sell them through right now, so I apologize for that. If you're curious and you want some, I'm gonna have another site up soon. I've found a couple of other options. Like I said, I'm thinking about going with a Facebook store. I think I kind of started setting one up at one point, but they were partnering with Shopify, and I didn't want to use Shopify. That's the whole point of closing it down. So I'll see if I can figure it out through the Facebook store. It's their business site is super convoluted, messed up, kind of. I mean, it's weird. Thought about trying Etsy, but these aren't handmade products, which Etsy is more about handmade products. I mean, I designed them and they're manufactured overseas, though. I mean, they're just like more like a regular product. So they're not like 3D printed or anything like that, which a lot of people will sell their 3D printed items as handmade, but it is homemade. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. There's a couple other sites that kind of work similarly. There's one called Big. What is it called? Big Corp or Big. I don't know, something. They're meant for small companies, which is weird. They have a weird name. It makes it sound like they're for big corporations, but they're not. And the idea is to find something that really only charges you when you actually sell something. And that, I mean, I don't mind paying the fees that are related to actually selling something, but I don't want to have to be paying fees when I'm not actually selling something, and that's kind of the thing. Now, Shopify is probably a really good deal if I had steady sales, because they have a low charge on your individual products orders. So it's kind of like when you have volume enough, you want those low percentage charges. When you're doing minimal sales, the higher percentage charges with no extra fees is the favorable way to go. You're paying a little bit more at each sale, but it's not so much that it's offsetting the fees. Eventually, those extra percentages, if you could offset the fees, would be a lot more problematic. So anyway, that's what's going on. So yeah, I do still have them. I'm just trying to figure out the most economical way to put them, make them available. I am a terrible marketing person, as you could probably guess. I haven't built my site. Even my stream is a little right? I mean, you're looking at it going, it's adequate, dude, but you don't edit your videos, and you don't put up you don't put up enough content that's clean, and your stream looks pretty plain. So yeah, I know you're probably like, that's probably why you're not doing very well with it. But hey, man, you're here. Thanks for coming by and watching. I know you just want to see how we're doing with the game, so let's get moving. All right, so I need to kind of work through a step or two here. I put in a lot of base code to make things start functioning, but ultimately I have the whole infrastructure built in, but none of the pieces of officially stream. I haven't gotten through to anything. So what I think I need to do is actually start the app, step through, start finding where it's failing, and making that stuff function. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and run. It's assuming I can. It's going to be difficult because I don't even know if I can start these. To be honest, I might have to first make sure these can start, because there's no chance of them working if I can't at least get them to start. So right now, I am using the real names in my seed data. And I think I was putting in, what was my request on this last thing? Last request. Oh, that's the... I think I did all this stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to open up. Which one is this? This one. Okay, so let's open that. And I believe... All right. Let's... I could have swore I did this piece already. I feel like I've already started this question. Did I? Sheesh. Oh no, this is a whole bunch of other stuff. Ooh, man. That was when I first created a lot of my... do this. We're gonna go. I'll go here. See. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to set up. I need to update. I need to create the auto load for the team seed data. So I got a couple of things I've got to set up. One is I'm going to have to somehow tie a team to every user. So whenever a new user account comes into existence, which means it's probably going to have to be at the AMG auth when they register or create. And then we're going to have to create, we're going to have to use a call to the user account service and have it generate a new link to a team, and probably a default playbook and a default Well, I don't even know if they need a playbook. Once they go into the playbook service, I could probably initialize it then. Is kind of what I'm thinking. So they'll get a playbook when they go into the playbook or into the game plan. So they don't necessarily have one out the gate, but those things will get created for them when we go into those services the first time. So when they go to even attempt to create it. If they just go straight to simulation, it's just going to use the default, because the default is the backup for everything. There'll be a default playbook, a default game plan, and it'll just call whatever plays. But as soon as they go to playbook, they'll get the default plays in their playbook, and they're only going to get like the basics, like a pass, a run, and the kickoff, and field goal, extra point. That's it. They're not getting much. But the idea is that whenever somebody comes in and starts their game, they set up an account, start playing, they'll be given some, like, most games, they like to give you a bunch of crap, right? Any free-to-play game will give you a bunch of stuff just to get going. Heck, even the ones you buy are going to give you some stuff out the gate. You get Marvel Midnight Suns, which I like a lot. You get a few heroes to start. You'll get more as the game goes on. But you're going to get those you need to kind of get going. And that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to give a team, a player, the basics. Maybe they'll be very low on the salary cap zone, and then they can draft or trade or whatever to kind of get their team set for the first game of the season. I was even thinking about setting it up as maybe an expansion draft, where they can draft their whole team, or they can just be given a team right out the gate, and they just kind of go from there. But there won't be any players to start, so that doesn't matter. So at the beginning, at this point, at this juncture, we're just doing teams are going to exist kind of thing. So, all right, so we're going to have to go user, account store, initialize teams. So we're going to go store.go. Guess we're going to just put this at the top. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to, none of this stuff exists. This was when I created the user account. Let's see, I need counters, but I don't need a play store, play type, route actions, formations, playbooks. None of that stuff needs to exist. We don't have any of this stuff needed. None of this stuff. That's what happens when you just copy a service. Get playbooks, don't need to, don't have them. Create playbook. Get all plays, create plays, update play, delete play. None of that stuff exists. Right. But we will keep the close. Probably don't need create index for the playbooks because we don't actually have them. So we're going to go up here and we'll just now it's possible I don't even need the user ID. I may have to create an initialize. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do that, to be honest. My daughter's having TV issues. my daughter's TV, apparently. She's trying to watch a movie, so she that was supposed to be on Fandango or Voodoo or whatever it is now. And because I thought I put it on there and it wasn't. And then I had to go through Movies Anywhere, put it in Movies Anywhere, resync it, get it back into Fandango, get it all set up for her. She didn't have the password to start, so first she's trying to get it logged in. If she finally gets it logged in, the password doesn't work. Or I give her the password stuff, it doesn't work. So I have to go back on there and go, okay, what's going on? Why doesn't the password work? So I had to go in and reset, get the password to work. So she was able to log in, get the password in. She's finally in. The movie's not there. So I have to come back in, go check, see why is it not in there? It's not in there. Okay, so I was like, well, I could have swore I put it in there. So I went back to the Movies Anywhere, linked it in, put it in, came back. All right, we got it in there. Oh, it's not appearing. What do you mean it's not appearing? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's because you have to reset the app. So I reset the app, popped up. It's there, yay. Finally, she's like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. She turns it on, starts playing. It's going. She texts me now. My volume's not working no more. The audio's not working anymore. I'm like, what do you mean your audio's not working? It was playing when I left. And so yeah, she's having a whole lot of movie issues this evening. Maybe I'm just not supposed to watch movies tonight. I'm like, yeah, maybe. It's starting to sound like it. You're having some serious issues there, so who knows. Anyway, so yeah, I hopefully she's good and she's just gonna deal with. But that sound is that the Jason. She's into horror movies, so I assigned that to her. The Halloween sound that comes in. Okay, let's try this again. Dar dar dar. Okay, where was I? I'm trying to put this in there. So I did that. Initialize teams. Teams is in there. Service.go. My service.go is probably all wonky too. Yep. Dang. Let's initialize. I probably just take this. I don't need any of this playbook store crap. Or validate play crap. It's probably not a great idea to copy a really big service. I probably should just say I need it. What I'll probably do next time is like I did with the streamer service, and just say I need to implement this service in the same way that these other services are, and then it'll just give me the basics required for that service to function, and that will be a much more practical way to go, and then I'll just have the stuff I need. This is probably going to be I don't know why she's having so many issues with her TV. That's her again. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Do I need to have... I don't know if I'm going to need a user account store. What's all... It could be that I'm going to need more stuff, but right now... yeah. Where's my rain deck go? I have too many copy stuff. Create the Mongo service, initialize the service, register service there. Register server with server, service server. Make sure to update the team struct in types.go. It needed to match exactly the structure of JSON. Well, how is it not matching the structure of the JSON? The JSON was built from the structure of the team. ID, user ID, team city, team mascot, game city, game mascot, custom, game plan ID. Oh, they did the BSON thing. Which actually identify, strangely enough, that BSON stuff has a purpose. It's weird. I haven't figured out what the BSON does, but somehow it tells, it maps or something. It tells the system how to use it. The information follows the pattern typically use the microservice seeding initial data. The service will check if the team's collection. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to update this because, yeah, I have so much garbage crap. I don't know what the launch JSON. Do I even need that? I mean, that was playbook. I don't think the other ones have a launch. That was created for playbook for some reason. I don't need this. Okay. I think I cleaned up most of this stuff. I don't want this readiness handler. That's just, that thing's driving me bonkers. I don't know what its purpose in life is, but it is bugging me. All right, so we're gonna go. What am I up to for services? I think this is probably 2004, which I don't even want. I'm just gonna take this out. We're just gonna get rid of that. We're gonna go gRPC ADDR. I don't even know why is it gRPC ADDR? I think that's supposed to be in the env. All right, playbook main.go. It's supposed to be the M file. 2002, is that right? It is, but I don't understand why you would want to have an M file and a default. The default at best, the default should be something like not found or not available or not set. But if you're gonna put it in your code, what is the point? It's like, that is not how it's supposed to work. If you're putting it in your code, it's flawed. Wrong R count. So yeah, I don't like defaults. I think defaults for environment variables, if they're supposed to be secure, your code should not have. I mean, I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense. So, just me, man, but that just seems like, what are you doing? So, let's see. I'm gonna. So I got 20. Oh, no. Local? All right, here we go. So I got 0, 1, 2 is playbook. I think I set up a 3 already. I'm going to have to figure out a way to remember these things. Oh, coach is 3. Coach is 3. So, all right, so we got game plan is already in there. Gateway's already in there. GitHub. Leagues is not even defined yet. Playbook's already in there. Players not defined yet. Simulator. What is simulator? I think, is simulator the 3? Yeah, simulator is set up to be 3. Okay, so I'm going to need to put, I guess, this guy. And we're going to put him into simulator. We'll set that to 3. And then main, we'll just blank this. Like I said, I don't like that. I am very anti when it comes to, oh, is that really what we're doing? We have a colon on that? Huh, okay. All right, so we got 2, 3, that's simulator. And we got playbook, streamer. Streamer doesn't even have a full set of files yet. That's not even fully defined. And then I have the coach already. So coach is 3, playbook. Wait, playbook's 2, and simulator is. Wait, coach is defined as 3. No, simulator has to be 4. What am I doing? Man, simulator's got to be 4. If coach is 3, simulator's got to be 4. And this is just my local, because I set them up. They have different numbers for other environments, but this is what I'm using for now. And I'm pretty sure coach here is... Coach here is... Where'd the heck coach go? Oh, it's local. Okay, coach is 4. All right, so now I got to go to simulator. It's localhost 2004. Call it simulator. Simulator. See you later. I don't know why, but I kind of want all my plays to be ahead of the gateway. Why? I don't know. Because. And then I have a user account, which is going to have to be 5. There we go. User account 2005. Okay, so gRPC adder should be 2005. In a .m file in the user account. I'm creating all kinds of new stuff, man. And honestly, I'm not totally sure it's 2005. gRPC adder. It's just this. It's kind of interesting. How come? I'm not even sure this is using this correctly, because if this has, if common local is running on like this, or even env, how come my other locations? 2001. How come these even have to have that? I shouldn't even need it. You know, I'm not even sure that line is required by any of this stuff. I think they might be using the .m that comes from common, to be honest. I guess we'll find out. Playbook. Did you want me to come take a look, or do you want, is it okay if I take a look at it tomorrow? She might need me. I don't think she wants. I think she was ready to give up. She gets frustrated when you get more than 2 or 3 detours. She kind of gets a little flustered, and she'll get mad at it. I'm just not watching it, or I'm not going to do it. Unlike me, who will like plug away at it. I'll take a thing that's should be a 5-minute fix, and I'll spend an hour on it to try to figure it out. I just keep trying everything under the sun before I fully give up. And then if I can't figure it out, I'll look online for solutions. I mean, I will look, if I have to, I'll look to see what can I buy to fix a thing. I'll look at. I mean, I will come up with a solution. My daughter just goes, "Oh, this is the third thing. I just don't want to watch it anymore. I don't care anymore." It's like now, you're gonna get. You can't just keep throwing the whole plan out. You know, things don't go your way. You fix it. You know. All right, so user data here needs to be okay. So we'll go with that. I don't even know if that's correct, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be correct, but I have a lot of things that need to be fixed here, so whatever. All right, let's see if I can kind of see what's going on with main.go. Well, first let's see how many things can fix themselves by simply saying save all. A lot of times there's references and other garbage that kind of need to clean up themselves. So kind of have to make sure everything compiles, so I won't be able to start the service. So what I probably am missing are some proto files. I'm probably gonna have to go create some proto files. So I'm sure that's a thing. Let's see what it did. Set the readiness port. I don't like the readiness crap, so let's get rid of the readiness server. I know it plugged them in, but I'm not a fan. Wait, where did I just go? Nope, not where I'm in. I'm trying to go to... I'm way over here on user account. Oh, did that fix everything simply by putting the main.go correct? Oh, whoa. Oh, am I like on the wrong file? What the heck am I doing? Okay, let's try that again. I'm going all over the place. The problem with having a bunch of versions open, which is probably just taxing my computer again. My computer's going to crash on me. Okay, so now my computer might crash. It's not my computer that crashes. It's my Thunderbolt port crashes and it disconnects, it dies, loses connection, whatever, and that kills my video card, which is an external video card allowing me to use 3 monitors. So when the Thunderbolt port blows up for whatever reason, everything shuts down and everything shifts to my tablet screen. But that also kills, OBS goes, the video I was streaming from disappeared and I was using NVEC, but now it's gone because it comes with the video card, which is attached externally. So everything explodes. So I have to reconnect and reset and do all kinds of other crap to get things working again. So yeah, so if that happens and I disappear, I might not come back because it's getting late. But assuming everything stays connected, I'll be on for another 30 minutes or so. Just letting you know, I could disappear early, unexpectedly, in the middle of a sentence. All depends. I think it has something to do with my computer overheating, and I think that's when things kind of go not wonky on me, but could be wrong. I don't know. All right, so is that all it did? It just fixed the main? It didn't really do anything. Main.go is still missing. What is this problem here? Oh yeah, I want it. It's this guy. File. Edit. Toggle block comment. Let's get rid of that. No, I want. No. What the heck? That's weird. Usually when you do the whole thing, let's just comment this thing out. Jiminy Criminy Ken. Alright. I'm not going to call that thing. Don't think it's using URI config for whatever reason. Probably because it was using it there and I'm not using it there now. So I might need it later. So we'll go with that. Okay, so that should kind of sort of clean up one of these. All right. I think I'm going to have to go create some protobuf files for the types. Let me rephrase that. I am going to have to create some more protobuf files for the types. That's like that's a non. It's a non. All right, so let's go to the service. Yeah, I figured it was doing something weird. Incorrect type definition, but the service struct is using playbook store as a box. Wrong service registration. New gRPC handler. And the gRPC handler is registering the wrong service type in gRPC handler.go. It is? Oh yeah, it is. And are you going to show? Oh, I see what happened. It didn't. All right. Package main service.go. Let's go back to service.go here. And then we got to fix the store.go, which is just it. Basically, I did this all bad. I'm not going to do that again. It was bad on my part. I just should not have done it the way I did. It was weird. Oh. Wait, why didn't it put that in? Oh, maybe it did. What I want is this guy and this guy. They're going to go at the top. So we got initialize teams, but they're going to go. Yeah, I'll put this at the top. Store struct. Yeah, I'll put this here. Not sure what this is. Why is that even there? Isn't that just like the same thing? It's like a double dose of the same thing. That was weird. Okay. And then fix gRPC handler.go to register the correct service type. Fix main.go. Actually, I didn't even ask a question. I just talked. I just said, oh, I'm not doing that no more. All right, so store.go. All right. All right, let's go to store.go. Hey, now there's only one issue on my store instead of the 9+ in my gRPC handler. Holy cow. Why do I have 9+ problems in the gRPC handler? Wait, my main.go? I thought I was using 5. I'm using 5, not 4. Okay, so what did it do differently here? So we got blah 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 blah. Background, user initialization. gRPC. ODB config common main. Not sure why I need any of that stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and do that while it's giving me an answer. So I'm going to go over to my common here, and we'll go to API, and we'll just add a new file, and we'll say user account dot proto. And I'm probably going to need my proto files to do this. Wait. User account.proto. Yeah. All right, so we've got some basic items. Got my get team, team by user ID. That's all fine. All looks good. All right. And then we got to go down to here, and we'll make gen that because we're going to want that guy all working. We'll go cd common make gen, see if everything's functional. Bam. Yes, we're good there. All right, so now we've got at least that working. We can go back to my user account, try to see if I can figure out all that broken stuff. Get more of this stuff to turn green. Let's see if we can do that. Did the make file, we're good there. Yeah, we should have all of our make gen, our oh wait, did I not add? Oh, I have to add user account to my make file. Duh. It's not gonna just take it, it's gonna expect me to put it up here. Space API system underscore settings. No, API. Not system settings. Hey Ariano, how you doing, man? How are you this fine evening? Account. Oh, whoops. User account dot photo. I wonder if, can I wrap this? I don't see any reason why I can't wrap this, right? It's going to be a long line. I'm hoping I can wrap it. There's no line termination characters in Go, so I don't know if I can do that. What the freak? Wow. Wow, dude. You're pretty harsh. Life's tough, you know. I am the CCP agent assigned to your case. I have to make a report on the STEM project you work on and submit to Chapter 9 Jinping's elite committee of YouTube espionage. Your report's looking pretty bad. I'm gonna write working on a dead end project. Wow. Same to you, man. It's not a dead end. Dang it, did it again. Let's try that one more time. There we go. I knew they were in there somewhere. It's interesting, my system settings one. System settings only created one file. Why? Maybe because I didn't set up. Why did system settings only create one file? All the other ones created two files. I don't even know what Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. What is that? Put some respect behind that name, you capitalist venturist. What the heck is Xi Jinping? Something from the Asian continent? That's what I'm thinking. There's not a whole lot of names of things that start with X or J in the United States. It's just pretty rare. Except Twitter, which for some reason is now called X. Why? I don't know. But it's going to die anyway, so. Twitter's days are numbered. Elon Musk came in and put it down. All right, let's try this again. Oh, well, see, there you go. Apparently I'm not big on international knowledge. I have to laugh. You know, my wife does this to me all the time. She asks me questions. Did you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't keep up to date on world or even most U.S. events. I'm very bad at it. I've taken this tact in my life. Okay, so this is what I go by. If I can't do anything about it, why do I want to know about it? unless it's something that directly affects me, or I in some way can directly affect and actually have an inkling or desire to have an effect on it, I don't want to know about it. I can't control world events. I have no connection to world politics. I have no connection to. I barely. I mean, I vote here because I have some input there, but that's about it. Once you voted and people are in office, I hadn't do nothing. And then all I can do is do like all these other people on social media, just get mad about everything that's going on. Oh, I can't believe blah, blah, blah. This guy's blah, blah, blah. This guy's doing that. That girl's doing that. She's terrible. He's terrible. This guy's killing everybody. This guy's doing this to everybody. This guy's running up tariffs. What can I do? All I'm going to do is get mad. And getting mad does nothing for me. So I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the social media guy who's complaining about the world and how everybody's treating everybody else terrible. Yeah, I've got opinions on it. If somebody throws something at me and I hear it, yeah, I'm going to have an opinion. But I don't want to be angry about the world. So I ignore all that crap. So I don't know what that says about me. Sports, I do have a connection to, though. So I enjoy it. I get something from it. It directly affects me. That's what I'm saying. If it directly affects me in a way that's not going to make me feel terrible, except for when Denver's losing, that kind of makes me feel terrible. But I'm kind of getting numb to it at this point. So now it's only way to go is up. My expectations are pretty low now, so when they lose, it's not as painful. But it's still kind of a... If it's going to have something that affects me in a positive way, or I have some kind of an effect to it, I will pay attention to it. But if I can't, then I don't want to know. I don't want to know about that guy murdering people in another state. What am I going to do? I'm not a detective. I can't fly down there and solve the mystery and get this guy put in prison. I'm not a hunter. I can't go over there and hunt him down and kill him. I don't have any way to do anything. So if I pick stuff up, I guess it's conversational. It's really all it is. So you can go read about it and then just have some conversation with people. But somebody out, politics is so explosive. Everybody's got such strong opinions, you know. You can't say anything positive or negative about Trump, right? Because you're going to be on the wrong side of that fence no matter what. I mean, he got voted in, so obviously there are some strong supporters. But he's got tons of people who hate him for everything, right? So you're either hating him or I don't know how anybody could love him, but they like him enough to vote for him. He doesn't seem like he's all that lovable, but apparently he's popular enough, right? But you can't put a word in, because if you say to the wrong person the wrong word, you're in a fight. Because there's no middle ground with Trump. There's nobody out there goes, you know, it is what it is. You know, there's nobody doing that. You hate him or you don't hate him a lot. Newspapers, what the heck is that? Are there still newspapers? Who still gets a newspaper delivered? Around here, okay, there are newspapers, but I don't know very many people who actually get a newspaper. Most of the newspapers around here have died. They're all online now. They're online websites. There's a few, but not very many anymore. But anyway, so hey, I've almost got all my errors gone. They're getting closer. All right, so we got gRPC is fixed. Fix the service interface on user account service.go. So we're ironing things out. So I was watching. See, there's things that interest me too. I mean, it's got to be something that interests me. Politics doesn't interest me. So that's a third thing that might make me watch it beyond just sports, which is, you know, enjoyment. But I like tech. I even like entertainment industry. I do like to kind of see what the latest thing people are making, movies, even music to some extent. So I do I'm interested in the actors, and I pay attention to some of that. Maybe not to the extent that like my wife and daughter might, but it's just that fluff is more entertaining than politics, which is not fluff. It's like anger-inducing crap. And general news is just bad news, right? There's actually a website that dedicates itself to trying to be good news. They don't report all the depressing, terrible things that go on in the world. They just don't bother with that stuff. They leave that to other sites to handle, and they try to report the good things that are going on, the positive things people are doing in the world. Stuff that's more uplifting. And I think that's cool. I forgot what the name of the site is, so obviously I don't really read it because it's still just generic news. But I know. Sorry, man. I don't know how that... So that's why I don't do streams on politics, because I'm not a good source of political information. I have been known to get into a few debates over Christianity. I rarely, though, because people are pretty hot-blooded about it as well. And I don't want to get into if somebody is dead set on their belief, then I don't look. Unless you want to have an honest conversation, I'm not going to get into it with you. I'm not going to try to convince someone who's hardcore set, and they're certainly not going to change my mind. So why bother? It's kind of like, an immovable object. So unless somebody is willing to listen and potentially gain something out of it, what are the point of those conversations? And that's the problem with politics. Most people are not willing to hear the other side. They've got their opinion, and they don't want nothing to do with it. Somebody else will do that. That's boring. I have no interest in that. Why would I want to... It's like I don't even read news myself. Why would I want to build a news app? I leave that to the people who care about that crap. And that's not me. I already have like two other games I want to develop, and who knows how many years it's going to take me to develop them. Oh, did I do this wrong? Wait. Well, how is that going to get called then? Wait a minute. User account store interface defines the store.go. Oh, I didn't put that in there yet. We'll put that in there. Physics, chemistry, and math at high school level. I studied quite a bit of math. I took math all the way up to calculus, trigonometry. I was actually really good at math in school. Chemistry and physics, I never really took. I think both of those would be really interesting, but I never actually took them in school. Just too many other things, I guess. But I didn't go to college. I went to a technical college for a month, a year, and I got a computerized accounting. I don't know what is it. I don't want to say it's a degree. We'll say certificate or technical degree or whatever you want to call it. A 1-year degree for computerized accounting, which is a lot of math. But that was the extent of my college. And I've taken a few training courses here and there, but that's it. Never went to college. I trained myself how to use code, and I wanted to start my own business, so I started an Access, create my own database. and started fiddling with getting a database going for my business. So I tried to get a job, and I ended up getting a data entry job in Access. And I go, well, data entry, whatever. I get paid, right? So I showed up to go get. I showed up to go get paid to go do a data entry job, and they go, yeah, we need you to put all this data into the database. I go, all right, well, what's the database look like? They go, well, we don't actually have the database yet. Can you create that for us in Access? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I just said, sure. And so they kind of go, all right. So I looked at Access and I said, all right, let's make this database. So I created a bunch of forms, input forms, and data, and I ended up creating this Access database for them. Took me about a week and a half or something, and then I input all their data, and that was it. So I had experience programming in Access, and then I got my first job in programming Access, and then I kind of moved up to Access, and then they switched to VBA, and then I learned how to do VBA. And I go, okay, well, hey, I know how to do VBA now, so I wonder if I could do VB. So I tried to get a job in VB, which was pretty close, and I go, oh, so somebody gave me a chance. I go, yeah, I'm pretty new, but I've been doing VBA for a long time. And they're like, all right, fine. I got a job in VB, got really good at VB, and then I was like, the job I got for 14 years hired me as a VB Access developer that knew VB. And when I started the job, they go, well, we don't really have that much VB. It's all C#. But, we know that VB is used in Access. I'm like, okay. And so I fixed their Access stuff using the VBA that was going on. And started writing C# extensions for them. And then I got good at C#. 10 years doing that. And I go, you know what? We need to convert this thing. Access can't handle this. So I started writing a bunch of code in C# and SQL to move all their data to the SQL Server application. And I ended up creating an application for them written in SQL Server and C# and ASP.NET. And that's where I got all my experience. I just developed it and learned to write. Yeah. See, here's the thing is about college developers, and I have nothing against schools teaching people. It's like kind of I don't even want to call it a shortcut. But experience is so much more useful. Every developer I've ever met that had years of experience actually developing themselves and even self-taught were just so much better than most of the people who came out of school. And yeah, you come out of school and people can get jobs just because they come out of school. And they know all this book knowledge, but they don't have the ability or concepts to apply that knowledge. Because they don't understand how the real world of creating apps, a lot of times they get in there and they're just lost. At least until they get some time going. But you still got to build the experience. So yes, there was no AI. So it was books and trial and error. And then the early versions of the web would have some stuff, but there was nothing like you had now. Basically, I would just go through and I would find where the object model was, and I just start going through, what does this function do? Oh, that's kind of cool. That'll probably work. Stroll through looking for the object models of things, and I would just kind of play with it until I figured out how to make it work. And then you'd use the help texts that would come with the code you're working in, right? Because most of them built in help. You'd hit F1 and it would say, this is what this function does. And you're like, oh, all right, cool. And then you'd put it in and you try things out and build up your apps, and then you start learning stuff. And that's kind of how I've always coded. Now we have AI and stuff, and it's like, so now it's kind of giving me a lot more. I'm taking in so much more information now, but it's going to take longer to get really good at a small piece. Because before I would learn what I learned solid, but it wasn't thorough. So it took years to build up a thorough knowledge of C# or Access or whatever. It's going to be similar, I think, even now. But the difference is now I can develop the full scope of things at the beginning, even when I don't really know what's going on. But now it's all coming into view in my mind. at once. So I'm slowly starting to get the gist of how everything's assembled, but I'm not doing it piecemeal. I'm doing it all at once. It's kind of weird, but it's still going to take about, I imagine it'll still take similar amounts of time to get it all in my head where I could actually just develop it. But I'm going to get a lot more done a lot faster because now I've kind of like, it's kind of like I've got this AI instructor who's helping me write all this code and teaching me how to do it at the same time. So I'm actually getting things done way faster, a lot more complex, a lot more things going on. But I'm not fully absorbed yet, right? So I'm not, it's not just because I get it done in 6 months, or not, it's not going to be done in 6 months, but just because I made huge progress in 3 to 6 months doesn't mean I've learned everything I've done. I'm now very familiar with it and I've learned a lot, but I've probably only learned 3 to 6, 9 months of actual knowledge, the kind of knowledge you need to be a developer. So I would still say I've only got 3 months or 6 months of knowledge, even though I've worked on enough stuff to say that a person who could code this on their own probably would have, in order to get to that point, probably 3 or 4 or 5 years of knowledge. But I'm only got a few months of knowledge, although I've done a lot of that same stuff. I've just kind of been having my hand held by the AI. It's kind of what's happening. So AI allows you to be more productive at the early stages of knowledge is really all it's doing. I wouldn't say that I am by any means expert, but I think I'm doing expert level code because, and plus a lot of it is I do have expert level software development knowledge. So I understand the concepts, the structures, the how to develop, and I'm also very good at designing and conceptualizing the structure of applications. So that's that's just a different skill set altogether. I mean, it's rarely a thing that anybody asks for on a resume, but if they gave me a chance, they'd realize that I excel at that. And I think I'm actually better at that than a lot of people I've even ever worked with. Some really good developers who are really good at making things happen in their code, but they don't conceptualize it. And that's kind of where I excel, I think. And that's kind of how I was able to, stay at this other job for as long as I did, because an application they needed, I conceptualized, developed, designed, and got it done for them within, a fairly reasonable amount of time. And it ended up being a complex app that they've been using to this day for 10, 12 years. And they can't even find an app to replace it. They keep saying they want to replace it, but there's no apps out there that do what mine did. And they're like, we can't replace this because there's nothing that does this. And I'm like, told you. I mean, it doesn't exist. If it did, I would have said, use this. But they didn't. They kept going on. So I guarantee you, if I was to call back in 5 years, I bet you they're still using my app, even though they've been wanting to get rid of it. They want to get rid of it because it means that they have to maintain it. And since I'm not there, they don't have anyone to maintain it. So if they get rid of it, it'll be simply because they can't do anything with it. And they'll have to hire someone to come in and do something with it and whatever. Planning documentation. When did you start seeing proper documentations? What do you mean proper documentations? You mean like books and stuff like that? What do you mean by when did I start seeing proper documentations? You mean like, the help documents and stuff that came with apps have been good for a long time. People learned a lot from the help documents. You don't see as much. I mean, I think the help documents still exist. I think if I clicked on here, let's see if it exists. Well, it might not here because this isn't actually a Go app. No, this is not. Think. What if I go into here? Let's see if. It's so weird how they do this. Let's see here. Oh, that's the Copilot. I don't know. I don't use help documentation much anymore. I assume it still exists. Yeah, well, for one, silly scribbles and doodles, I don't have them in here. That's only because I'm trying to do it on my OneNote on my computer. And that was just what I always do is mock up something. It gives me a form shape to work with. But, the actual tasks, I actually have, what is this? Planning and tracking. So for one, I use ClickUp right now. I've used Azure. This is my plans and structures. And I also have OneNote defining a lot of the details of what I need. But the mockups, this text mockups, oops, what am I doing? Sorry. These text mockups are just me brainstorming. This is my brainstorm doodles. Assembling, okay, how do I want this to look? And honestly, I had already started developing this before I even put this on this paper. I did this for the stream to kind of show what I'm trying to get going and what it takes. A lot of times I wanted to, and why this piece I'm working on right now is the most complicated piece I've worked on so far. Because it implements like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 parts, 9 services, pages, components, all have to be developed for all these things to work. For even just the run game function to work. And this guy here is, this is the bread and butter, this whole run game function. This is the heart of my app. A lot of companies who do these football managers, they don't care about this as much. This is small potatoes to them. And for me, I'm designing it to do more, have more, run more, and actually I'm trying to build enough infrastructure on it that I can implement a better experience from the run game process. So it's very important to me to get that going. No. I wish, but no. I had LASIK done about 20 years ago. Yeah, I had LASIK done about 20 years ago. And now my eyes have held up fine since I got LASIK. But they're losing a little bit. I've got some really, really, really weak glasses. I went to go get a prescription, or I went to go get my eyes checked about a year or two ago. And the doctor goes, well, it's not 20/20, but you're probably not going to notice much difference if I give you glasses. So I was like, just off. And I kind of notice it a little bit here and there, where things are just a little like at a distance. They're like, I can read stuff at a distance, but they're just a little hazy, almost like my eyes have a haze on them. And if I wear these glasses they gave me, they'll be just a bit sharper, a little better. And he gave me some reading ones. I can't even tell what the heck. I play with them and I go, is this worth it? I can't see them doing anything. So yeah, my eyes are a little. They've gone down a little bit since I got LASIK, but not enough yet to really matter, I guess. I'm not to that point where glasses are a requirement for me. So we'll say good genes have made it so my eyes haven't degraded since getting LASIK. But they are degrading slightly after 20 years of the LASIK. Oh, it's already 10:10, man. 10:10, man. All right, so how are we doing here? We're really close. We got main.go here, which is missing something. User accounts. What is wrong with this one? All right, so this one's got me a little curious. So oops, wait. Am I doing this in two different windows? I gotta stop doing that. Fix the service interface, user interface service.go. Initialize. See, there's the initialize, but where is it? Get team by user ID. Get all teams. Do I want all teams? And this one is service.go. Proto team? Yes. To some extent, I have. I'm also impatient. I have never. Let's put it this way: I have never opened. Okay, no, that's not true. I rarely open a book simply to read it. I typically will open an actual book or documentation, official documentation, whatever it is, as a as needed. Let's put it that way. If I can't find the answer by some other means, I probably won't do it. But I have opened official Go documentation simply because I needed to find some answer that I couldn't find through anything else. Some more feedbacky way kind of doing it. I don't have a problem with documentation. I just figure I want to learn things as quickly as possible, and reading documents is slow and tedious. And so I'm not gonna. It's like a last resort. Why take the slow and tedious route if I can take a more direct route? You know, I mean, yeah, I might learn more maybe because you'll pick up a little bit of the fluff around it, the filler information. But also, I don't know. I just don't find. I don't want to waste that time. I'm a person who wants to keep making progress. So I study the code as I'm developing it, and then as I need new functionality, I will dig into it a little bit more. If I need something else, or I need a feature or functionality, I'll dig into it further. I don't have because my real fireplace, when it works or when I've used it, it doesn't work right. The smoke doesn't go up the chimney. I don't know. We've had it cleaned and maintained, and we even had someone come and try to tweak our chimney so that the smoke would flow correctly. For whatever reason, too much of it backflows, and it just kind of gets in the house. It's not so bad that it's like choking you out, kinda. But the whole house starts to smell like smoke. Enough of it comes in, and it's like it doesn't work. So, got a fake fireplace. I used to have a cool Denver Broncos heater. It's about yay big, about not much smaller than that, and it would heat the whole room. It was a pretty nice one, but after a few years, it failed. I don't know, 3 or 4 years, 5 years, I don't know. And then this one, I go through a number of heaters, but that one's kind of cool because it looks like a fireplace, but it's just electric. That is not a Superman painting, by the way. That's a Superman puzzle that's been framed, and I put the puzzle together. Thank you very much. So, yeah, dude, I'm a nerd, a geek. What do you want? I got Superman stuff. I've got Galactus up there in the corner. I got a whole wall back here of my X-Cases and Mage Cages filled with all my Superman and Denver Bronco miniatures. And I've got I've got pictures of my family upstairs. That's the whole upstairs area. And then I got my collection. I've collected playing cards for years. I've got 300 decks of playing cards, and I've got I got a wall here that has about maybe 100 of them on here, maybe a little bit more. But I got about a third of those on the wall. I'm a nerd and a geek, man. Dude, that's the way it goes. I've got stuff everywhere. I've got my subscription to Absolute Superman, my first ever subscription to a comic. I've never subscribed to a comic in my life, but I decided I wanted this for Christmas. I put it on my wish list, and my son got it for me. He got me a year subscription to the brand new Absolute Superman. So this is the third one. I have 4. The 5th one should be coming soon. I haven't read the 4th one though, so I better get on it and read the 4th one. But I got my War World. I got Superman War World Saga. I'm only about a third of the way through that one, quarter of the way. It's pretty good though. So yeah, man, major geek right here, man. I am proud of it. I even got one of my my mini Superman collectibles out here. Now the reason he's out here is because apparently I have 2. One's already in my display, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this one? So right now it's just sitting on my desk. It's just kind of marking my desk. So yeah. Sub to what? Sub to... Oh, you mean the Superman and subscribe to my Superman comic? Is that what you mean? Yeah. That's true. Jeez. Playboy. Do people still subscribe to Playboy anymore? Do they even do a magazine anymore? I thought I heard, or maybe it was Penthouse. I don't know. One of those, they stopped printing actual magazines. They only have like website stuff now. I have, usually during the football season, I wear jerseys on occasion. My Bronco jerseys. Or when they're doing really well. I have, well, see, you can see I'm wearing a Bronco shirt right now. This is, which Super Bowl 50 champions right there. See, they get the iconic game. That's the 50th Super Bowl. 5-0. Denver's 3rd Super Bowl championship. I don't know why this one doesn't have 3 trophies on it somewhere, though. I need to get... I have one that has 3 trophies. I actually have one of my jerseys has a patch thing on it that has 3 Super Bowl trophies. Oh yeah, I know them pretty well. I think I could probably name all 32 without too much of an issue. Now, of course, I'm not so well informed that I can tell you every team's best players or anything. I know my team's best players pretty well, but I know some of the players from other teams. Oh my gosh. Fake jerseys. That's a thing, that's for sure. But no, but you don't get fake jerseys from the average Joe. The fake jerseys come from like China, and then somebody just buys a bunch of fake jerseys and resells them is what they do. 'Cause China copies them and then sells them. Because you can't do that here. You get in trouble for doing it here. If you're selling fake jerseys, you're kind of doing it under the what do they call it, under the table. You're trying to, hey, I got this genuine fake jersey for you, man. It's like half the price of a normal jersey. Some people are like, all right, I'll buy it. But yeah, you got to do that on the down low, or the NFL is going to come after you and take more than you spent on it. What is going on here, man? Service.co. gRPC handler's fixed. What is going on? If ID is provided, set it. If ID is provided, updated team. Convert back to proto team. Hey, Shenzhen, was it Shenzhen or it might have been Shenzhen where I actually had my the mage cages made. When I started selling the mage cages, I got in contact Ultra Pro, a guy at Ultra Pro. They were going to buy the mage cage and sell them themselves. They were going to buy them from me, license them or whatever you want to call it. But they wanted to sell them for crazy amounts. And at the time, I was like, these are the kind of cases people want to buy. You're going to want to buy in bulk. Or not in bulk, but you're going to a repeat buy. It's not like you buy one case and you never buy another one. You buy one, you buy two, you buy three, you buy 10, you buy 20. You can buy whatever you want because your whole collection is going to fit in them. And you'll never be able to, you can build and connect and whatever you want. But they wanted to sell them for like more than double what I was going to sell them for. And at the time, that was the right price, right? I mean, I was selling them. So I said, no, but I got to know a guy there pretty well. And he goes, look, you should check out these guys in China. It's the same company we use for a bunch of our stuff. I go, all right. So he gave me their contact number. I contacted them. They became my manufacturer for the first production run. Then they kind of, I don't even know, they might have been my first two production runs. But when I went down there for the first one, I flew down to China and they took me on a tour. And I think it was Shenzhen. I went to Hong Kong and then we took a train into the mainland and they took me to go see all of the manufacturing facilities. And that's where I learned about the crazy drivers in China. But it was cool because that's where they made the WizKids video, the clicks that I was making. I was making the cases for. It was they were originally designed for HeroClix because I played HeroClix, and so I was like, oh, this is cool. And they even gave me a couple of the figs they had on display. And the ones they gave me were like these super rare ones that I could not get. They were like, if I wanted to buy them, they were like $80 if you were to buy them or some crazy amount. So I got me a couple of really cool who's Diego? Hello, Diego. Can you see my chat? Who's Diego, man? Are you talking to someone else? But anyway, so it was pretty cool to go check all that stuff out. And I just said it because you mentioned Shenzhen, and I think that's the name of the place, the province or whatever in China that had the cases. Oh, weird. You know what? One of your chat messages, I'm looking at my... You mentioned Shenzhen, but then your next chat on Restream came through as, can you see my chat? So all I saw was Shenzhen and then can you see my chat? But I also have the stream up on my phone here. And there's a missing chat message. Right in between those two where you mentioned, okay, can we get music on the stream? Music requests like they did with radios back in the 60s when you were a teen. Hey, TTR. How's it going, man? What's the latest with you? As far as music goes, you can't get popular music on streams because they'll block your stream. It has to be like what do you call it? Free to play or unlicensed music. And there's a couple of companies that do that. They have music, but the thing is, then I have to go through and kind of try to find music that fits. I'd have to listen to it. Something that fits my style, my music tastes, which isn't probably that hard, except I don't know. I mean, for me, music very rarely is good the first time I hear it. So I'd have to listen to a lot of what they have and find out what I like. So Um, oh, and then I see, yeah, Diego is illegal. That's why Diego probably got blocked. That's why you mentioned Diego. Probably got blocked by my system. Because I have Restream blocking some viewers. Usually the ones that are trying to sell me stuff. That's why Diego's not in here. And I blocked them on Twitch too, so they won't show up again. That's why I have it on both my phone and here. So if I need to, I can go onto here and block some stuff. Oh, you're Ghastly. Hey, Ghastly. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I remember you. How are you doing, man? TTR. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Totally tubular player. Let's see. Let me think. Let's see. CCR is Credence Clearwater Revival. So you're Credence Clearwater Revival. Hey, don't be surprised if foreign music can be valid as well. In fact, if somebody follows me, you follow me and it triggers my little hey, you were just followed thing on my stream, and it will YouTube at least will mute my stream for 15 seconds. Not while you're on, but all my in post. If you go watch it later, it'll have that whole part will be silent as soon as somebody follows. The little thing will pop up and my stream will go silent. So yeah, there's that. But I refuse to get rid of it because I like it. It's Superman. How can you not want to listen to Superman? Oh, it's 10:30. I don't know what happened to my service. Why is it broken all of a sudden? Create or update team. Creates or updates a team. No. All right. So no, I don't think that's how I'm going to create a team, though. No. For now, let's just have a placeholder for creating teams. I believe I will likely just have copying a. See, I'm trying. How do I? I will likely just either create a team or creating. I will just either create a team or so this part of the not yet fully defined league service. I used to do that. I used to have music playing in the background on my you know, the AI that shall not be named because she'll decide to butt in on my conversation. Top tier recall. Let's see. Taxes take revenge. We are at that time of the season now. If you're in the U.S., it's taxes take revenge. Taxes take your resources. That's. I better not have to pay this year. That's all I have to say. I've been I mean, I just got done with my business taxes. I lost money. I always lose money on my business. I don't know why I do it. Well, no, I don't always. I do nowadays because I was keeping up my Shopify, which was costing me more than I was selling. And that's just because I don't market very well lately. So I haven't been selling the Mage Cages as much. I got to promote better. They sold crazy when I first started because I did a ton of marketing. But I haven't been pushing them lately, and I need to do that more. But also, because I don't have everybody who knows of the product knows about the X-Case, so it's harder to do it without. Truckers, tractors, and roads. Truckers take roads. Truckers travel roads. How about tippy top reached? Tippy top reached. Good job, man. You reached the top. The very, very top. Personally, I have about 5 game names or usernames that I use for all of my fun stuff. I have other names for not fun stuff, but generally I have Tazion, Zypher, Owena if I want to do a female name, Pratt, which is my rare, usually a thief name if I'm playing a thief of some kind, but that's that name. These are my fixed names. Of course, Active Mind Gamer, duh. And then I have Ignat Kennison. Oh, and Kyle. Kyle is one of my favorites. Ka-el. And you'll never guess what that's supposed to be a play on. But those are all my favorite names I use for different things. So if you ever see those names anywhere, it might be me. I don't know. Maybe not. I've gone to things and some of those are taken. Kyle gets taken a lot. It's pretty new for me, but I like it. Ignat Kennison is actually a play on my real name. It's short for Ignacio, which is my middle name, Ignat. And Kennison is son of Ken, like an old Viking name. So Ignat Kennison is like a Viking style name version of my name. Ignat, son of Ken. My name is Ken as well, but my dad's name is Ken. Illegal alien. I just said it's Ken. My middle name is Ignacio. My first name is Ken. But that's why I only have one name of all my game names that I use that's a play on my real name. And that's Ignat Kennison. All right. Well, I got to do better at working tomorrow. I got to find I got to find a more bigger window to work in tomorrow. Today I felt like was kind of less productive because taxes. Oh, I hate that. I still got to finish them. They're not even done yet. I just got my business taxes done. What a pain in the rear. Okay, so if you don't make a lot of product, you don't make a lot of money in the year. So you've got for me, I had maybe 4 entries. Okay, But I have to go through the entire interview for the business taxes, and it's got its own interview. But there's like 100 questions. You know, nope, and you have to answer them. They're either a check, a yes, a no, a zero, something. You're just going through, no, check. And if you miss one, you need to put a checkbox in one of these two things. You gotta go back and read it, and you gotta go check it, and then these two values gotta come out even. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I don't even know what number to put in here. Just take this number. Just make it even. I don't care. It was like, I think it came out to like less than $1,000 worth of transactions in my whole business this last year. No, it was a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, it's a little bit more. But it's not good. But it took forever, and you got to go through it, and you got to set it all up, and you got to set up the electronic submission, and blah 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 blah. And that's what you're saying right now, blah 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 blah. You're not even from here, so this is U.S. taxes, things I have to do. So I don't know what you have to do. I am Chicano, technically, not Mexican. It's the same basic ancestry, but Chicano is a Mexican born in America. So my birthplace is here in the United States. But yeah, I don't understand why people need to have. I don't know why they have so many long names. And then there's countries and places where they have like one name. You have one name, and that's it. Like Cher, people who just name themselves one name. Or I think there's even places in the world that don't really use other names. If they use a family name, but they don't use it as they don't sign things with it. It's just like, it's not normal. Actually, I think it's kind of weird. But I think 2 names is plenty. 3 works. Some people will have 4 because they'll have, I got to have a middle name after my family on my side and my mother's side, my father's side, whatever. But once you get past 4, okay, you're getting carried away. How many people do you need to be named after? Look, if you want to name your kid after 20 people, have more kids. You can name each one after somebody. But you're only allowed 4 names, tops. You can name one kid after, 4 names is naming, you can name your kid after 3 people with 4 names. That's enough. That's all you got. Cotton Eye Joe, that's not a Spanish accent, is it? No, what is it? I always feel like I'm high, like I'm on pot when I do a Spanish accent. Yeah, man, I really am good at I got to get my Spanish stuff going, so that I can get things going and be working better. But when you're doing a Spanish accent, man, you gotta roll your R's. You got to have all of the necessary stuff when you do that, or it doesn't sound right. I used to sing, my mom got me, I always remember this song, Leaving on a Jet, no, is it Leaving on a Jet Plane? No, not Leaving on a Jet Plane. It's, is it Tie a Yellow Ribbon? Maybe it's Tie a Yellow Ribbon. No. Gosh dang it. It might be Tie a Yellow Ribbon. Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Nope, that isn't it. What's the, dang it. There's a song that I always used to sing, and I always ended up singing it with a Spanish accent. No, it's not it. Oh, God. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't. No. I always feel like if you're doing a Japanese accent, you're insulting somebody. How did that come up? That weird. That message that just popped up on my thing popped up like it was like from 10 minutes ago. Weird. I'm getting chat messages showing up on my restream that were from forever ago. La Bamba. I know all the words to La Bamba, by the way. I can't really. It's one of those songs that I can't. I can sing along with Richie Valens or whoever's singing it, but I can never seem to get the tune in my head when I'm not. I'm a terrible acapellist. I can sing okay when I'm singing with music, but without music, I just can't find the note in my head, so I have a hard time hitting the notes correctly. I don't know why. It's just I don't have, what do they call it, perfect pitch. So I sing okay. I have an okay voice for most songs. I'm no superstar, but I could get by in a musical. Sing well enough to, do the job for a musical. But I'm not like gonna become a movie star or anything. See, I can't find the thing. For to dance the bamba, you need. I even used to know all. I even used to know the full translation for it. Yeah. Well, you don't need to. I mean, it's just like Feliz Navidad. It's, you don't need to. You don't need to know Spanish to sing Feliz Navidad. Or what's that song with what's his face? That just Despacito. A lot of people know the words to that song, and they don't know any Spanish, just because it was such a popular song. I've heard that the translation of Despacito is really bad, though. I mean, it's not real. Like, you hear a little kid singing it, and you're like, probably not the greatest song. If you know the words, you're like, that's not really a kid's song. But whatever, I guess they don't know what they're saying. It's not my native tongue. Oh yeah, because I eat tacos. Because people who eat tacos know Spanish. I'm not sure those two things go together, man. It's only your native tongue if you were born in that country. My grandparents speak fluid Spanish. But they never taught my parents or my dad how to sing or how to speak Spanish. My grandmother spoke Spanish, so for up until about 3 years ago, I had 3 out of my 4 grandparents were still alive, and 2 of them are still alive now. But one of my grandmother on my mom's side passed away finally, and she knew Spanish as well. But my grandparents never really taught my parents Spanish. So none of my uncles or on my dad's side, none of them know Spanish. But my grandparents spoke it fluently. So they would just speak Spanish to each other when people were around, if they didn't want you to hear what they were saying. Now, so any of us grandkids who would learn some Spanish would pick up on some of what they were saying. But, funny story. I took 6 years of Spanish in junior high and high school. And I have really got to go to bed. It's 10:45. I took 6 years of Spanish in junior high and high school, and I got decent at it. I mean, it wasn't until my senior year where I got straight A's in Spanish. I don't know why, it just suddenly clicked. But I had learned a lot of cuss words. So around my friends, I would cuss. I would say cuss words, and they would half the time not know. Most of them never knew what I was saying exactly. They knew I was probably swearing, but I would do it because it was like I wasn't swearing. Because when you do it around people speaking English, it's just a word. They don't know what it is. And so I would throw these words out. Something would happen, I'd say this word, and most time people would just kind of laugh or say it off because they wouldn't know what it is. Well, my grandparents were in town visiting one year. And, my grandfather's sitting in the kitchen and we're just hanging out. And my brother or somebody does something and I cuss at him in Spanish. And my grandfather got ticked off. He's like, "What are you doing using language like that? Blah, 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 blah." Like, whoa, I was like, "What?" My family, swearing is not okay. For some reason, though, I was not able to get my kids to really... I mean, they don't do it around me because they know I don't like it. But my two of my sons, anyway, they swear quite a bit in their rooms or to their friends. But they don't do it around me, which is, I guess, good. But I couldn't ever get them to stop. Now, I don't believe my daughter or my oldest son do it very much, but my other two sons do. And but they're adults now. What can you do? I tell them I don't like it, but they do what they want to do. But still, getting caught by my grandfather was always a funny story. In fact, it was funny to hear, like, everybody laughed. Everybody laughed except my grandfather, who was not laughing. So I had to be a little more careful when I was around him because he heard me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to remember who my present company is. Anyway, guys, I got to hit the hay, man. That's it for me for today. I didn't get nearly as much done as I'd like to, but it was fun chatting with you guys. Well, I'm sure we'll chat again. Till next time.